Hi, my name is Frederick Fajardo, and I'll be running for Kasamahan's Ourstorian for the years 2020 and 2021. So what I wanted to talk about in my speech today was how, for me, a huge honor for me is being able to hear somebody's story, especially when those stories may involve something personal that they normally wouldn't tell people. And because of that, I've heard many stories. I've heard stories about my grandmother and the picture at the top, and I've heard stories about my mother pictured somewhere there in the bottom. About them, growing up in the Philippines, being able to live there, especially when I haven't had the opportunity to grow up there or really be there for a prolonged period of time. And I not only love hearing stories from them, but I also love hearing stories from my friends as well. Their struggles, their hardships, and how they've had to grow as a person. And as I started to grow as a person, I started to really take up an interest in stories not only from real life, but also with stories that are presented on screen as well. So TV shows, animation, film, those kinds of things. Because when you really think about it, those stories on the screen are really just stories that are put there and that are written by somebody. And even though those stories themselves might be fictional, the emotions that the writer puts onto the screen never are. They're always genuine, which is why I actually started to take up an interest in creating my own stories. So here's some shots from one of the first things I ever filmed, and I started, taking up writing as well, screenwriting as well. And as my skills started to grow there, I started to want to gain more experience with the camera, which is why when I went to USF, I joined Kasamahan's media team, not only just to improve as somebody who's able to tell stories, but as somebody who's able to do that while also experiencing his own culture. And as I started to work Kasamahan's events, going to, Rendalia days, symposiums, et cetera, and eventually even creating my own stories, I started to realize I really love what I was doing. At one point I was the DP for the Kasama prom short. And, as I did the work on that, doing the storyboards, doing the previs, and then eventually being able to see the final product, I realized that I could put my experiences not only in creating film and writing film and doing stuff like that, but also, managing teams, for stage performances or doing a choreography and stuff like that. I could put all those skills and put them back into the club as your Ourstorian, as somebody who's there to record the stories. The stories will eventually tell our kids and our grandkids, whether that just be through, photographing events, creating our own shorts, doing stuff like that. I felt like I would be able to serve the club best through that position and be able to give you guys the opportunity to tell your stories as you guys' Ourstorian for that year. Thank you very much.